We're at Cape Chignetco in Nova Scotia, and we are doing a 2-night overnight hike in the backcountry, and we're going to be testing out our new REI Flash 55 packs, as well as some other gear, which we'll talk about later, and we'll take you along the way with us.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So far we've probably walked a kilometer on the beach. You can see behind us, there is some elevation up there. So the good thing about here versus, we'll say, the sister side of the Fundy Trail is, if you look at the horizon behind us, there's not the elevation in the coves that they have. So once you stay up, you pretty much stay up. You do have to descend in some spots where you'll hit coves and water sources. But overall, once you're up in the elevation, you're up high. So far so good. Everything's going well. It's a coolish day.
Perfect for hiking.
Perfect for hiking, and we got some miles to put on today. How are you feeling so far?
Good so far.
All right, let's get back at it.
Keep going.
How big is that cliff, Melissa?
It's pretty darn big.
Doing a wave?
So we've gone about 3 miles or 4 kilometers into our trip so far. It's a humid, muggy day, so it's a little warm, but I think we're doing okay. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Doing fine. I mean, we're catching a breeze right now. If you look behind us, there's a sign, Cape Chignetco. That's the way we're going, and then there's the Eatonville side. So what this trail is, it's a loop, and so we've hit the loop portion. We've come about 4 kilometers in, hit the loop, and so we're going to basically do another 40 kilometers, which is about, I don't know, it's about 30 miles. You know, so it's a long journey. You know, I mean, it's a moderate difficulty, but what's so, like, why is it so difficult for us?
Because we're trying to push all those kilometers into a short amount of time, right? Over 3 days, opposed, I think most people probably do this in 3 nights, 4 days.
Yeah. So most people do it in 3 nights, 4 days or more.
Yes.
We're going to do it in 2 nights and 3 days. So we're really going to push our body on day 2, and day 3 will be a breeze to get out of here.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, let's go.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
So we're about 5K in. We're almost to Refugee Cove, which is where we're staying for the night. Just got this big descent, this big hill to go down before we get in there, and have a little pro tip for you. Make sure you go nice and slow and take small steps to save your knees.
Yeah, so it's counterintuitive. You would think going down a hill that you would want to, like, almost run down a hill. It's a lot easier and you can do it faster, but it's harder on your knees. Everyone's carrying backpacks here, and it's just a lot of pressure on your knees. So the key here is to go extra slow, take smaller steps, and then your knees will thank you. Yeah,
and you'll feel better for your rest of your hike the next day.
All right. How are you liking your REI Flash 55?
I'm actually loving it. I was a little bit concerned when we packed them up because the weight in the back, I don't know if you can see it, sits a lot higher than I'm used to with my Gregory, because I was like, oh no, is that going to throw my center of gravity off? But actually it's been great. I haven't noticed it at all.
I mean, we pretty much backpack exclusively with Gregory packs. Yeah. I would say the REI Flash 55, I'm really impressed. What I like is the hip belt. It's stiff, and I find the load actually rides on your hips as opposed to your shoulders or back or anything. Really good pack so far. Yeah. I also like the layout of the pockets. There are a lot of pockets on this thing. That's the one, I'd say, complaint with the Gregory products. I mean, it's simple for the Paragon 58 I have. I do love that backpack, and it's a sturdy backpack, but it's got less pockets, so there's only so many places I can store stuff. This seems to have a few more.
Yeah, especially on the outside. Like, I like that on each side there's two pockets. You probably can't really see. The one's got my chair, and I don't think there's anything in the other one, but there's like a water bottle pocket there as well. And it's the same on both sides, so that's really handy. Got to strap those Pringles in, keep them safe.
The electrolytes.
Yeah.
All right, let's slowly walk down this trail, and we'll head to Refugee Cove.
Okay, sounds good.
So we've just settled down for our first day lunch. What are you eating, Melissa? You made these. What are they?
Montreal smoked meat sandwiches with marbled cheddar cheese, dill pickles, romaine lettuce. You had mustard, I have mayo, and high protein bread.
We like lunches for sandwiches, but it depends on how long you camp or how you're hiking. So, I mean, we could probably get 2 or 3 days out of... With this, you could probably get, I'd say, a couple days out of it before I got to start to worry. Everything's cooked, so there's really no worry. But we don't have refrigeration, so that's the issue. So I mean, as time goes by, you want to get into the drier ingredients. So yeah, the first couple lunches we'll do that. But we brought a lot of food this time. We're gonna cook a few new recipes. I mean, we'll do a few videos of new recipes, but nothing will be too crazy.
Nope.
The first one tonight, I guess it'll be a surprise, but I think it's the one with the most perishable ingredients. We weighed our food before we came, and it was roughly around a pound a meal. Roughly, I mean, these sandwiches were a pound each.
Yeah.
We'll exclude the sandwiches, but with the dry ingredients and the stuff we brought was about a pound a meal. I think there was a little more, and that had some wetter ingredients that were in cans. But I think the maximum was like 1.5 pounds, so I mean, that's not bad.
Not at all.
It's pretty nice here, actually. So there's a few hikers that just went past us. They're on their way up a very large hill. We just came down a hill. It's probably a kilometer and a half straight down. Lots of elevation. Had to walk small, so we saved our knees. But overall, I mean, we haven't had any rain yet. This has been a really good experience. I will say that this trail is a really nice trail.
It is very nice.
It's well groomed, well maintained. This year versus last year. So last summer was a very wet summer on the Atlantic coast. This summer's drier, and we notice it. So we were over a bunch of bridges, and there was no water underneath. I was here last year, and there was lots of water absolutely everywhere. So it'll be intriguing to see how this is my second time, to see how this, how it goes, I guess, and what the differences are. But so far, it's been a really nice experience. Bugs aren't bad at all.
Nope.
From a gear point of view, our big three, so I know it's a big change of topic here from lunches to hiking to gear. So you've seen that we brought the REI Flash 55. I'm really loving it.
Yeah, it's great.
We brought some other gear. So the idea of this trip was every ounce mattered. And so we went back to some older gear. Like, we bought new gear, which you may have seen on the channel if you've watched it at all. And when we got out and weighed it, it was just like, I can't justify bringing this gear for the weight. So we brought some older stuff. But we did also bring some comfort items. I mean, we're using these chairs. I don't think I'd go backpacking without them. I mean, I'm looking around, there's rocks. I don't want to sit on a rock or a stump.
Nope.
And there are stumps, and they look inviting, but not as inviting as this chair. And we brought some other comfort items. I mean, we can go through that stuff later, but we'll talk about it along the way.
Yeah.
So far, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, same here.
Haven't felt like I needed to consume electrolytes. I am sweating.
Yes.
I just had half a sandwich, and there's dill pickles in that. There'll be electrolytes within that, and probably some of the cheese and stuff too, so I can replenish things. But so far, I'm feeling really good.
Same here. Sorry, I'm scarfing down my sandwich.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Okay, so I'll put this up, and I think that's it until we hit Refugee Cove and start setting up tents and getting ready for the night. We're still probably, I don't know, probably a few kilometers. Today's going to be an easier day. It's tomorrow that's going to be challenging.
Yeah.
And so, providing we can get there and it doesn't rain, that would be a good thing. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and so it'll be interesting to see how that changes the trail.
Yes.
Anyway, let's see what happens.
Yep.
All right.
That was a good meal, Melissa. Got my lifting belt on here, lifting my heavy pack.
I will too here in a second.
Ugh. I'm sure we'll wear this food off in no time.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Eat for two when you're hiking. That's the one thing
right.
we've probably never talked about. You eat for two. All right, let's hit the trail, grab the trekking poles, and hit the road.
Here we go. So we're about 11 kilometers into our hike, and we're just passing through this beautiful maple grove. You can see behind us probably there's some ferns and things, but this is not the first maple grove that we've passed through.
No, so we've been walking through maple groves for probably about 3 or 4 kilometers now, and very little softwood, just a lot of beautiful maples. It's really quite the spot. It's beautiful. We're close to the ocean, but not so close where you feel like you're going to fall off a cliff or anything, but this is a really nice trail so far.
It's beautiful.
Yep. All right, let's continue.
Okay, let's keep going. Oh, cool. You see the clouds out there? Oh, that must be fog.
So we made it to Refugee Cove, and we were talking about some of the gear we were bringing. And we didn't want to tell everything right away because we
Right.
still have more of a trip. But we can share a few things. So in the back, you'll see we're bringing our Helinox Chair 1s. Or sorry, they're Chair 0s.
That's right.
So Helinox Chair 0, beautiful chair. We said every ounce matters, but comfort, I mean, there's so much comfort in chairs.
Yeah. When you stop for breaks.
Stop for breaks. I'm
Lunch.
not sitting on seats. Actually, people may have seen us have lunch on those chairs.
Yes.
That's fine. Okay, so what else did we bring? So let's take a turn over here, Melissa. So we actually decided to not bring the Astagear Yunchuan 2.
That's right. We brought the Lanshan.
Yeah, the 3F UL Gear Lanshan 2 Pro.
Yes.
So we bought this last year. I'll say this is a very trusty tent. So this tent, I would trust with my life. I can't say I would do that with the Astagear Yunchuan 2. We haven't just used it enough. I haven't been in conditions where it was been really raining and saying, geez, you know, is this safe? I think it is. I think it's good. Like it's a well-designed tent. But I know this one will. This tent has stood up in weather that was near freezing, that you and I were both in, raining. We were 100% fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. This tent, I would go out as far as say if it seems sealed properly, if you've sprayed it with Nick Wax or some type of UV treatment to make sure it doesn't leak, like I can guarantee you'll be fine in this tent, and I'm 100% certain this tent is good for us. The other reason we picked it, why was the other reason?
Well, because of the weight, right? We just said every ounce matters, and this one was it 10 ounces less than the Yunchuan?
Yeah, so this weighed in at 2 pounds essentially.
Yes.
Plus stakes,
Yeah.
but you'd have stakes and
For
trekking
anything.
poles for anything else. But it weighed in at 2 pounds. When we weighed the Yunchuan, the Yunchuan 2, it was 10 pounds.
Or
2 pounds 10 ounces.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Yunchuan 2 was 2 pounds 10 ounces. And for the extra 10 ounces, the real question is it really worth the extra? And I'm thinking it might be.
Yeah.
So I mean, we were in the Astagear. Like I love the Yunchuan 2. I love the Lanshan 2.
Yeah. I will say this was much quicker to pitch than the Yunchuan, but we haven't pitched the Yunchuan as much as we've done this one.
But we have pitched it with 4 stakes, and it came
Yes.
out really nice. I will say this is less roomier.
Yeah.
We have 2. Well, we can talk about it, but we have 2 long, wide sleeping pads, the Nemo tensors, and it just fits. Like it just fits. In the Astagear, there's lots of room.
Yes. There was
But,
tons.
so let's take a look. Let's take a peek in if you want, Melissa. And you can. So yeah, so you can see it fits. I mean, we've got a 50-inch floor and base, right? But
it's just fitting. Like, there's no extra space on the edges. Like, the sleep pad is right there.
so the question is, for the extra 10 ounces, is that worth it? I don't know. I mean, I still love this tent. We'll test them back and forth and see what we think.
Yeah.
This is a good tent. Like I said, I trust my life with this tent. And so we're brought the Zen bivvies.
Again.
Yeah, so we this is the
Double
second
quilt.
time we're using the double quilt Zen bivvy. This is a very nice sleep system. It's excellent. What do we got for pillows, Melissa?
We have Zen Bivvy pillows as well.
Zen bivvy pillows there too, so I don't think people can see, but yeah, we got the Zen bivvy pillow, and it says Zen bivvy on the side there if you can see it. Now this is the old pillow model, but they're still great. And so yeah, that's what we're bringing so far.
And in case people aren't familiar with Zen Bivvy, the thing that makes it so great is that, one, it's a double, so you can sleep together like you're sleeping in bed at home. But 2, there's a sheet that goes over top of your sleep pads to hold them together, and this sleep quilt actually attaches to it so you don't roll out of your sheet in the middle of the night.
So it's not a cheap sleep system. I mean, this is a high-end sleep system. But that's one of the things we don't sacrifice on is sleeping comfort. So we pretty much bought the best system we can get out there.
Yeah, we did.
So we woke up, it's raining today, we had a great night's sleep, we had our breakfast, but the question is do we exit the park because it's raining or do we continue? I think we both feel we can continue.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. It's a pretty good downpour, I will say that. I will say the trail's been dry, but
we'll see how it's along the way.
So what'd you think of the Lanshan 2 Pro?
It was good. Like, it didn't leak or anything in the rain overnight, but there was a bit of condensation on the inside.
Yeah, so it's a single wall tent. That's something you got to be concerned about. I will say, if we expected multiple days of rain, I don't think the Lanshan 2 Pro is the way to go. I think you probably would want to take something that's a double wall tent. Just because that condensation, you got to get rid of it somehow. And with the outer shell, you can actually shake off water and stuff. But anyhow, let's start hitting the trail and let's keep going. So we're just leaving Refugee Cove now. It's behind us. It's on the Atlantic Ocean. There's a fair bit of cloud cover today. Not a lot of fog, so we got a lot of hiking to do. We're going to be hiking up along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, up Chignetco Bay, and we're going to probably have a lot of scenic views today. Let's hit the road.
Okay, let's go. Look behind us, you can see there is a beautiful view, even though it's a rainy day, with the Atlantic Ocean and some very, very high cliffs. So it just shows you how high up we actually are.
So far, I mean, it's a rainy day, but we've come prepared.
Yeah.
Rain jackets, rain pants, although we're not wearing rain pants yet. I can say my footwear is soaked at this point. But yeah, we've got some great views that makes it totally worth it. And if I swing around here, you can see this really cool island in the background as well. But yeah, what a great view. We're about 17 kilometers on the trail. It is a wet day. We've got some beautiful scenes behind us. So far, rain has actually picked up. We're dressed for it. I will say my rain jacket has washed out. Yeah. We even water treated it, but I mean, we can only take so much. We both have pit zips though, and that's really the way to stay to dump humidity. So I'll get my pit zips open. My pants are soaked, my shoes are soaked. We're completely soaked, but I mean, I'm feeling okay. It's cool, but not coldish, where we're gonna have hypothermia. But so far so good. I mean, I feel good. We're making good time. So I guess we should probably continue. We've got another
21 kilometers.
Another 21 kilometers, which is about what in miles? Let me think that through. 13 or 14 miles. Yeah. So we are about 20 kilometers in right now. Yep. It stopped raining.
Yay, for a minute.
Yeah. Swim behind us. We know nature left us a swimming pool. Would you want to go soak in the swimming pool, Melissa?
Well, I mean, I'm soaked as it is, so it wouldn't really make much of a difference.
Yeah. So I mean, look, check it out. I am 100% soaked. Other than this tiny little spot on my shirt, I'm drenched. Underwear's drenched. Yeah. Completely drenched. I'm wet. I will say though, the trail is excellent.
Yeah, it's really good actually.
Not muddy, even with all that rain. It's not muddy. It's been a great trail. We've made great time. Geez, I think we put down almost 7 kilometers this morning, just in a few hours. So we're doing great time, and we'll hit more of the trail.
Okay, cool.
Let's go. So we've come a long ways. We're 22 clicks into this trail, about halfway through. And then there's this beautiful little, I don't know whether it's a field maybe, I'm not sure exactly. There's blueberry bushes here, ferns everywhere. It's about 2 o'clock and we're working towards our Eatonville stay. But we came across a very interesting trail, and I'm going to switch our angles here. So, yes, that is a river. That's a trail behind us.
The trail is a river.
The trail is a river. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that ever. And we are absolutely soaked. So what we didn't show was the torrential rain that we've been through. It's starting to brighten up a bit here now, but like we didn't take breaks. Like we would wolf down a protein bar.
Yeah. We ate our lunch standing.
Ate our lunch standing. Like it has not been a good experience, but it's starting to, I think, finally to dry off. I mean, I'm feeling okay. I'm starting to get a little tired. We're about
8 kilometers.
8 kilometers, but that's we're 30 in now.
Yeah, 30 in.
So we've put on what 17 today, so a little more than yesterday. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little tired. So we are nearing the end of the coastal section. You can see there's some beautiful scenes behind us. So far, this has been a wet trail.
Yeah, very wet.
So it went from dry and decent to really wet, but it rained very hard. over the last little bit. But it's starting to seem like it's sprinkling a little bit right now, but it might be drying off, but not if it's sprinkling, obviously. No. We have about 6K until we're at our campsite, and we get a surprise when we get there.
Yes, that's right. You have to wait and see what that is.
Right. All right, let's hit the trail.
Okay.
So it's morning.
Yeah.
We made it last night. What was your thoughts about last night?
I was very tired.
Yeah, we were both really, really tired. And so the big surprise is if we turn around, we are staying in a cabin. So this is the Eatonville bunkhouse cabin at Chignetco. They've got water. There's not porta potty, but an outhouse.
Yep.
And inside, you can see there's a stove to warm up, stuff to hang your things. We used this last night. It wasn't planned to do, the weather wasn't planned, but what we said was, hey, let's stay at a cabin. But we didn't realize it rained all night again. And it's still raining now, and we still probably have another, 11 kilometers to go.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the bunkhouse?
It was wonderful, nice and cozy, and just perfect for a good night's rest.
It was. We ran fires, dried off our clothes. I don't think I was hypothermic, but I was cold last night. That's the downside of where we live, is in the evenings it can get cold. But I mean, it was wet last night, and we were dry. Turned on the heat, slept. It was really nice.
It was. Well, we got to get going.
Well, we got to hit the trail again. So what do we have this morning for breakfast?
We had loaded potatoes.
Load of potatoes. So yeah, that was a nice treat. Full of fat and protein and carbs, and should fuel our morning. And we're almost done. We're like 80% done now. So
yeah, great.
All right, let's hit the road and get out of here.
Sounds good. Causing me to get water in my hood.
Yeah. So we brought the Lanshan tents this time around. The Lanshan 2 Pro. What we didn't expect for is torrential rain. I'm not sure a second night in that tent would have been that great. And the only reason why I say that, it didn't leak or anything, but it's a single wall tent, and so you've really got to make sure the inside's dry. Because it's raining so hard, I'm not sure how great of a tent that would have held up.
Yeah.
There was one issue. So our sleep systems are really pushing that tent to its limit. Yeah. And so what we found was there was a little bit of leaking because of our sleeping bags brushed up against the outer wall of the tent. So that's an issue. I mean, it's just something to keep in mind. We decided not to take the Astagear Yunchuan 2, but I'm thinking now, if you expect rain, it might even be a superior tent, and the reason why is you can shake the outer shell off, and because it's a double walled tent.
Yeah.
All right, this is our path. We're going to go down that way. We've got a wet 11 kilometers ahead of us. Anything you want to say before we set off?
Nope, just you're going to try to stay as dry as you can.
We won't stay dry very long. So we have hit a spot where it's a Y of water, I guess, and we don't actually have a crossing here. So we got a lot of rain last night, but we thought we'd be able to cross everything. But if I look here, there is maybe something we can do here, although it might be a little wet. How was that?
Dancer's legs for you right there. And CrossFit. Woo!
So this is a rough, wet trail right here. As you can see, the trail is a river. Melissa's hiking up through it, but basically it's us jumping from stone to root. And it's pretty wet. So we're out of the water.
Yay!
That was a hard go. Kilometer and a half of just basically a river and a road.
That's terrible. The trail is a river. I think that's the theme of this trip.
The trail is a river, yes. And it's a long trail too. It's about 50K, but a lot of it was wet.
That sounds like it would be a good trail.
Oh, you'll have to write it.
Keep going.
Let's keep going. So we are excited. We can hear the ocean. So we took the coastal trail yesterday, and then turned off it and worked inland. But we can hear the coast, or we can hear the ocean again. So that means we're headed back to the loop back to the
start.
Yeah, to the start. So let's keep moving.
Keep going. So we've officially completed the full loop. We're back to the sign where we started at the beginning, and we got a couple kilometers left to go till we're back to the very beginning, back to the car.
So we've gone about 48 kilometers in mostly rain.
Yes.
It's starting to brighten up a little bit here tonight, which is welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
For folks that don't know, 48 kilometers, about 30 miles.
Yeah.
Very wet, but today's not bad.
No.
It's really just my legs that are wet, but the rest of it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was challenging but fun. Still got a little bit more to go.
All right, let's get the last little bit out of the way, and we can
Chat more soon.
chat more at the trailhead.
We're back.
Does it look different than when we first came here?
Yeah, it's because it's foggier.
And that water's running hard.
It is running really hard. We got a lot of rain last night. It's like a waterfall down into the...
So we're at the last little bit. We're just walking the beach on the way out. So I know we didn't go over all of our gear. What cook system did we use, and what did you think of it?
We used a jet boil, which is what we typically bring on trips. I think jet boil is great. It boils water super fast.
So yeah, let's talk about your the MSR
Dishes.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about that. So what's in the MSR set?
So there's 2 bowls, 2 like insulated mugs. They actually have like covers on them, like a travel mug. And then there's 2 like I'll say like sporks, because there's kind of like a spoon fork combo.
And so I think what I heard you said is when we cook our jet boil food, we can portion it out evenly and still just use the jet boil.
Yeah.
Now we took 2 chimneys this time. I don't think we need 2 chimneys. I think
No.
1 chimney, like 1 jet boil stash, which is the one we have.
Yeah.
That would certainly satisfy 2 people on a trail.
Oh, definitely.
We took a full canister of fuel, like one of the larger canisters, 250 grams, I think. We didn't even use half it, I don't think. I mean, we were cooking for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So plenty of fuel and very efficient.
Yes, exactly.
What do you think of the meals?
Delicious, as always.
So we didn't record them all, and the reason why is we had lighting in the cabin would have been troublesome. I think we cooked 1, but we can cook them later. But I mean, we had eggs Benedict on the trail, which is pretty hard to do, but we've got a recipe how to do it.
Yeah, we had ramen, which we did record that one.
What else do we have?
We had pad thai, which if you haven't seen the video on our pad thai, we have that. You can go check it out on our channel. And then we also had for breakfast this morning loaded potatoes, so like potatoes with cheese and bacon, lots of fat for our hike out this morning.
I gotta say, from a food point of view, we got a little bit of coffee left over, and the reason why, like ideally you bring all the food you're gonna eat, but you want to leave a little bit for emergencies. So we have a few protein bars left, which I'm 100% fine with, and a little bit of candy. But we didn't drink all the coffee we thought we were gonna drink. And the reason why was yesterday was raining so bad. I don't think we could have made could have made coffee, but like that would not have been fun to prepare and make coffee in the rain.
Yeah. It wasn't a good spot to stop to get out of the rain even.
So what do you think of the trail overall?
I love the trail. It's a great trail. I know we talked about how wet and stuff it was, but it really is a great trail. It's, there's lots of ups and downs. Not quite as challenging as the Sunday footpath, but still challenging. And lots of beautiful views along the way too. Spots to look out so you can see the views of the ocean.
I would say that's my feel too. It's a very majestic trail. The one thing that I would say is that there can be some muddy spots.
Yeah.
The fact that it rained all day yesterday is not the trail's fault. Like that's nature.
Yeah.
Just bad timing on our part.
Yeah.
But it's a good trail.
It was, yeah.
I would do it again.
Oh, 100%. And it's nice too because they do have cabins all along the way. Mind you, they book up quickly. So you have to try to go in advance and plan out your distances according to that.
What did you think of our backpacks? This is the first real test we've had of our backpacks. I mean, we took them on a hour hike, but like this is the first overnight trip. What did you think?
I really loved the backpack. The only downfall, and I think I might have mentioned this to you earlier, is that in this pack, I normally like to pack your sleep system and your tent and all that in the bottom. Our Gregory has a zipper on the bottom so you can get into that without having to take everything out, whereas these don't. That to me was the only downfall. The weight still carried really well in the hips and like shoulders. That part of me is not sore at all. What do you think of it?
I'll say a mix. So we're talking about the REI Flash 55. For me, I think the weight carries really well. It's a good pack. There is a couple issues for me. One is I have a hard time reaching for like to store a water bottle there. Melissa's better than I am, but it's just a hard reach for me. I might be able to figure something out by a slimmer bottle, but I just have a difficult time inserting the water bottle back into the pack. I don't have that problem with my Gregory Paragon 58, and so that's an issue. The other thing I'm noticing too, the hip belt's really stiff. So there's pros and cons to a stiff hip belt. And what I noticed yesterday, from us walking so much and it being so wet, it was really tight on my hips to the point where it bruised my hips. I mean, it was really tight. Maybe I could have loosened it, but the problem was it was just so wet yesterday. Like, it wasn't a really good way to test that pack. I can say I haven't put the Paragon through that much rain before, but the Paragon's never done that to me. And so I'm still, I guess, in the testing phase for this REI Flash 55. I'm not like for the pack. It's a great price. I don't know if I like it better than my other pack.
I mean, if you're looking if every ounce matters, then this is probably the way to go. If you're if we save £1 over our Gregory.
True, but like there are some other features that we also gave up, and so as an example, you and I both have a rain cover with our Gregory packs. We don't have a rain cover with this, and our gear got wet. Mind you, we packed it properly. We used garbage bag liners amongst our clothes, but like, you have to take all those things into consideration. And in all fairness, we haven't tested out the rain covers for the Gregory gear.
That's very true.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
What did you think about the Lanshan?
The Lanshan's a good tent. I think the issue for you and I is we're big people, and we outgrew the Lanshan a little bit with our Zen Bivy. And so the issue we sort of had was when it rained really hard at night, the quilt touched the bottom side of the tent, and so that can be dangerous in a sense that it's a single wall tent, and because it's a single wall tent, if you touch it at all with any material, it will leak. And the problem with that is if we had to stay in the tent again, there's a potential, like it rained hard last night, there's potential of the tent to actually fill full of water, right? Maybe not fill full of water, maybe that's too strong of words, but it had the potential to leak again.
And I don't know if I could have stand that torrential downpour.
The other issue I think we got to talk about too is because it's a single wall tent, we did our best to clean the inside of the tent to get rid of the condensation. But our packs got wet and the tent got wet, right? And so a wet tent will provide shelter, but it's already wet. You know what I mean? Like it's already saturated. And so I don't know how well it would have held up. I will say, if we took the Asta gear, Yunchuan 2, it would have been better in a sense that the outer part, we could have shaken that off, and then pitched it. It would have been fine. So we may, we may be switching to the Yunchuan 2 over the Lanshan 2, Lanshan 2 Pro. But anyway, more testing's needed. We typically don't go in the rain though. That's the issue here. But
it was one of those things we had to book it so far in advance that you couldn't predict the weather.
Like we're not through hikers either. We only go for an overnight stay, and so both tents are 100% fine. But like if you're going longer distances and it rained longer, I think you might need better options, but I'm not 100% sure there. I mean, the question is does the tent keep the water out?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And at the same time, like, those tents have limitations.
They do.
They can only take so much water before they saturate and start to leak themselves. So,
Yeah.
and then you only have so many solutions, such as waterproofing solutions like Nikwax to help you out. But even then, water will still saturate the membrane of the cloth. So, yeah, we'll figure that piece out.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're doing a through hike anytime soon.
No.
It'll be many years if we do. So. But I will say, from a clothing point of view, what did you think for your clothes? The right choice or not, since it was raining?
My jacket looks good. I mean, we retreated them before we left. I mean, the material of my jacket is a little different than yours. The fact that it actually gets, like, you can feel it's wet on the outside, but doesn't feel wet on the inside. It just gets kind of sweaty. So that was okay. My pants, on the other hand, I have a pair of outdoor research pants. They get wet, but I couldn't tell that they were wet until I actually took them off. Right? They felt kind of dry on my body. It's just that. So they do hold the water, so I don't know if my
Go over here.
rain pants would have been better. But I feel it's okay. The shoes held up pretty well. I mean, yes, our feet got wet, but I don't think we could avoid that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my jacket wet out almost immediately. I mean, I use it as an outer shell, but it should be waterproof, and it didn't even behave waterproof. It did at one point, so
Right.
obviously we need to retreat these jackets. Secondly, my pants that I wear, it's really just a pair of Amazon hiking pants I picked up. But the benefit I bought these pants for was that there was they convert into shorts. We did not need shorts on this trip. No, I needed stuff that kept me dry on this trip. I was 100% soaked to the point where anything that moved was sort of chafing. It was a really wet trip. But that's a lesson learned. I'm not sure if I want to hike that way in the future. If we through hike, that's something we're going to have to consider and plan for it. But right now, somebody told me I had a trip and it was rainy, might just reschedule for another day.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a hard trip.
Very hard.
Well, I think that's it for us.
I think so.
Unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
No, I think that's everything.
Okay, the visitor center's just up here.
Yep.
We had a great trip, learned lots,
We did.
and we will, I guess, see you on the next video.
Yep. Thanks for watching.